Hey guys, we are back with another preview. I've got Matt to my left.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's Barnsley on Wednesday. Going into it after that draw against Millwall, how did you find it?
How did I find the team at the
Yeah,
weekend? I
yeah,
thought, I thought we did quite well. We started really well, and then it just got a bit sort of slow, didn't it? So
yeah,
we didn't, we had trouble getting the sort of the pace of the game back up again. And Millwall were very efficient. I thought they played, pretty well and made it difficult for us. And obviously the same old problems with the aerial balls and stuff like that cost us. Uh, it was a fair result at the end of the day, wasn't it? 1-1, I think.
yeah.
It
I
was
said
about
that.
right.
I said that. They just stopped our wing backs and Lolly and Johnson from playing, which it's
Yeah,
same with Millwall.
to start with, we were all over them, weren't we? And it had Graben did really well to get that opportunity, and you would have expected him to score that. If he'd scored that, I think it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah,
But yeah, it got a little bit slow. Graben going off didn't help, did it? I thought the defence played pretty well on the whole, apart from obviously the goal. We just didn't move the ball quick enough, certainly for most of the first half, after the first 10 minutes, I thought. And the second half, we improved a bit, but really it could have gone either way.
yeah, I completely agree. You could tell what Steve Cooper, what he did at half time. Second half, we were competing a lot more, which was much more better. I don't think Smith, bar that shot he had that crossbar, Smith didn't even get into game after that, I thought.
Yeah, no, it was a kind of frustrating game. It was a bit more like a normal Forest game from, I don't know, 5 years ago or something. Cooper made a positive impact. I thought the vibe from the start was excellent. Him coming out before the kickoff and all that was a breath of fresh air. It was there was so much expectation. I felt like it was always going to be like that. I felt like they were working, they were trying a bit hard, I think. You felt like the weight of expectation being at home maybe was on them. And the defenders did a lot of running. Millwall kept chucking it behind our fullbacks, and Worrell in particular had to keep turning and running back. And he was kind of gassed before half time. So it's a little bit disappointing, but I think in context it was a good performance, far better than we've seen for a long time, apart from the away one, obviously at Huddersfield. And a step in the right direction. I expect we'll improve from it. Hope so.
Completely agree. It was just a shame that Graben came off injured, because I think to that half time we just lost that bit of quality up front with Graben. Taylor didn't help his scores, but
no, Taylor's a bit of a mystery, isn't he? Really, he just doesn't seem to. Nothing seems. You feel sorry for him because he's not as bad as he is at the moment, is he? Really, and he just can't seem to do anything quite right. Yeah, he didn't have the best of games. He has been a little bit better recently, but I didn't think he played well. I thought the fullbacks played really well. I thought the wingers actually played fairly well, not to the absolute best. Sinkernagel got his chance to come on. It was down the middle that it didn't quite happen, did it? Really, the midfield did nothing much. Went through the midfield. It was a bit slow, and Graben going off. It just made it a little bit toothless, I suppose, didn't it? There was no sort of focus to what we were trying to do.
Yeah, completely.
So the fullbacks had to start just whacking the ball in the goal. So it's the only thing left for them to do.
Yeah.
To aim for.
Oh, definitely. Going into Barnsley on Wednesday, feel quite, even though Barnsley are a bit of a bogey team.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel quite a bit of fresh air going into it. I'm not as nervous as I used to be.
No, well, we're the underdogs, aren't we? I guess. Yeah. So I think I'm quite confident we'll do quite well against them. It's a game of football; anything could happen. We could lose by a couple, we could win by a couple, but hopefully Graben's not out for too long. It's funny, after Huddersfield, the team kind of picked itself again, even though with the change of manager, and it's kind of like, who could you put into the team? And there aren't that many places where you say, oh, such and such has to come in. And you look at the bench is good, the team's good. It it's a nice problem to have. Whereas before that, you're going, "Oh crap, we need to sign players." Now it's like, no, we've got kind of too many. So it's nice to be feeling like that. I think, but yeah, I'll be very interested in the next couple of games what changes he does make, because I think he's still got the problem with the midfield, and now he's got the problem with Graben. I think the fullbacks, the wingers kind of pick themselves because you can just perm any you like from the wingers. What does he do with the midfield, and what does he do with the sort of number 10 area? If he does anything with Carvalho, anything like that, I don't think he'll be doing anything with Carvalho on Wednesday, but you know, later on, I think he's the kind of manager we're wanting to get something out of those players.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, it was quite hard to pick that team. Yeah, fair enough, it spoke for itself after Huddersfield, but I mean, we've seen Leonardo coming back, and I think Martin coming back as well. It was quite hard to actually say, "Oh, Lolly and Johnson deserve to be dropped," because they both had.
You couldn't drop them. They were two. You couldn't possibly drop them. It wouldn't be right. And that's the main thing. You pick on merit. If Lolly has 2 or 3 bad games, you give Zinkernagel a go. And if he plays brilliantly, he keeps the place until he starts. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's good to rotate them, isn't it? It'll be. Have we got our Paraguayan guy? Is he ready for Wednesday? I can't remember. I've lost track of how long he's been off the plane.
He's been doing a lot of fitness work because he only started training on Friday, so he's basically that pre-season at the minute.
Yeah, so we're probably not going to see him on Wednesday then, because that'll be the next thing, won't it? That's the big reveal that we've still got to look forward to and see how he fits into everything.
Yeah, completely. I mean, I can't see him coming in after Wednesday, either Saturday or Blackpool, say.
Yeah, no, realistic. Then it's crazy, though. You've missed half the season, haven't you? You bought this guy, and I don't know, he's probably due to go off again. You know, we'll have to kind of injure him in training so he doesn't have to go off and get isolated. He'll never get to play a game at this rate, will he? So, which is kind of crazy. But no, he'll be very interesting to see how he fits into the whole picture. And Carvalho, what we're going to do with him, because he's only got this season, and then we're going to have to either give him away or sell him, because there's only one more left in his contract after that. So, you know, unless we do something with him soon, it's like you won't be able to give him away, will you? So I'm confident Cooper will make progress anyway. I think he's off the pitch. He hasn't put a foot wrong, has he? Buying people football shirts and, you know, saying all the right things and spending time with everyone. Everything I've heard from people around the club has been so positive about their interactions with him, all the other coaches and all this kind of stuff. So I think he's made a fantastic first impression, and I think they did well to keep Stephen Reid. So, you know, everything's right. He's talking his players up as well. He's saying we've got brilliant players. They all want to try. They all want to succeed. Completely different, isn't it? And lo and behold, they play better.
I think the players will play for him as well. I mean, you're bigging them all up, and obviously man management, which he's proving to have it.
Yeah. No, I just think that was totally lacking before, and now it's hopefully the complete opposite. And that's all we've seen so far is kind of man management. The players haven't learned much, have they, in the last week or two? So it's purely their approach, and you know, so far so good. Step in the right direction. Barnsley's a tricky one though, because you know you could get beaten, and then the doubts. You got that same feeling when the goal went in. It was the same kind of goal, and there was that same kind of hollow sort of doing sort of thing. But they dug in. They did all right, and you know, he didn't totally capitulate like we have done previously. I think the players had a little bit more belief. You know, they weren't going to kind of cling on to losing 1-0.
The fans stood behind them as well, which a couple of games they would have just edge would have dropped. And Saturday you could tell, but seeing when Millwall scored, Forest was in, which
it was kind of a bit funny atmosphere in a way, though, wasn't it? I don't know whether you felt that, but it was sort of a bit flat in a way, because I don't know why, but it was just. Because it was that we've had nothing. It was kind of like, what do we do when we score? Kind of thing. But because we've had so little sort of excitement, it was a little bit flat. But you know, we need to get back in the swing of it as much as the players do, I guess.
Yeah, completely.
But the fullbacks have been fantastic. You know, far better than we could have any right in thinking you're ever going to get lone fullbacks that are that good, and they've both been really good. They're going to be hard to replace next season, aren't they? So, but nice problem to have.
Yeah, and they both came from championship clubs where they weren't deemed to be good enough there, and they came here and they've been a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You expect to get players which aren't really good enough, but they're more than good enough. Really, they're outstanding players, both of them. I wasn't so sure about Spence, but he's turning out to be just every bit as good. So, thank God for them, because but it helps the wingers too, doesn't it? That's the whole thing. If you get players that play well, the other ones can play better. So it's a sort of virtuous cycle, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially with the back three. I mean, Fidiodi didn't put a foot one Saturday.
I know people always out to sort of do him down, but I in all honesty, they're all good. Look, they're all good players, but I think you could have quite a good debate between all three of them, which one you think's the best. I mean, probably McKenna's arguably the best as far as I'm concerned, but it depends how long you see him play. If you watch it, if you've seen them for 3 years and you still think they're almost as good as a bloke that's only played 15 games or whatever, then they're probably better. You've got to give them credit for what you actually know. So I don't know. I think we've got good centre halves, and we've got, Mbeso's no fool either, is he? And even the under-23s, we're not in trouble with centre halves. And Figueiredo did really well in the air. So, that will be the other interesting thing. Is he going to stick to the back three? I mean, he probably will. I think it'd probably be wouldn't be the day to change, but he might not. You never know. He might deem he needs more bodies in midfield.
Yeah, I mean, they might play Wednesday and Saturday with this formation. Then you never know. When we come to Blackpool, he might surprise when he had next 2 weeks just to train.
Yeah, because it's funny because everyone's gone like it's all 4-4-2, and now they're like, oh yeah, back three at the back. That's the way it's got to be now, and it's like just switch completely. But really, you want to be able to do both, don't you?
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of occasions where you like Millwall, you definitely probably do want three at the back. But other occasions you probably don't need it. Like you say, hopefully Blackpool or something, you might not need it.
Yeah, I completely agree. But yeah, I mean, centre half position we're quite strong, as you said, because we've got the three that starting. Then we've got Mbeso who can fill in there. Then obviously, then you go to the under-23s, you've got them there as well. So it's not like we are quality in that centre half position now.
Absolutely, there's lots, and I tell you, the guy I'd love to see play is, of course, Forner, because I think he would absolutely work in this kind of system because he's very solid in the middle and he sprays the ball around quickly. So I think he would be arguably the best choice and the most sensible choice. So I'd like to think Cooper might get to him at some point. So because it'd be fascinating to see what he could do. He's so assured, and he's 22, so he's old enough. He's not a kid. You don't have to wait for him to grow up. He's ready now.
Yeah. Obviously, Barnsley are a bit more of a different threat. So,
and actually, the other little point to think about is if Grabban is out, I don't know how long is he going to be out. Is he going to be ready for Barnsley at all, or is he definitely out? Or what?
They reckon it was saying concussion, so it might even be in the swap for Wednesday.
Be all right. Yeah. Okay. So if he was going to be out, though, I was going to say the under-23 Swan and Larson are phenomenal players, and it would be really nice to see one of them get a chance at some point. And even what we're saying about Taylor, I mean, it'd be a bit of a blow to him if he's not the sort of second off the rank. But I'd like to see Swan given a go because they're on fire at the moment. They're scoring almost, not got a goal a game, but more than a goal every other game. They're hot. They're definitely on form, so they're definitely worth a go, certainly off the bench for 20-30 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be surprising, especially a position where if you do throw one or two of them in, if not all of them on the bench.
Yeah, no, but we've got like that Brazilian centre half. Cafu's kind of slipped down. Obviously, you've got likes of Colback and all the wingers that aren't quite getting in the team. Zinkernagel's hardly put a foot wrong. and he slipped out of the team, and it was kind of almost nice for him to get back on the pitch because he needed to, didn't he? He didn't really done anything kind of wrong. That happens, I feel like, with Forest so often. A player is kind of plays out of position, like he's played in the middle a few times, looks a bit flaky because it's not his position, and then he doesn't get given the credit for sort of pitching in where needed, like the Jakobs of this world have had to do when we've had all those centre-half crises with a year or two, and they never get forgiven for playing out of position, or Colback playing at left back, or Carvalho on the left wing, or Brereton on the right wing. All those guys suffered because of that, and it's better if you almost don't pick them if they're not good enough, but pick them in their position. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. But it's nice that it's all positive, and we're now saying, oh, everyone wants to play, everyone wants to keep in the team, and we've all got hope that we're going to make some progress.
Yeah, completely. What would be your scoreline on Wednesday?
Oh, well, like you say, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Let's say we win 1-0. How about that? That's
cheeky.
That's the kind of perfect result, isn't it? Cheeky 1-0. We owe them. We owe them a 1-0, don't we? They've had enough 1-0s against us. So
yeah, and a cheeky Lau Taylor goal as well. Just
yeah. If it was like it would be nice if he could be the guy that scored. If he came off the bench and actually did something for his own sort of good sort of thing. If you could have everything perfect.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, thank you for Matt for coming on.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
I'll catch you guys later.